this is Maheen from Canadian SMEs Small Business Magazine, and we recently had a chat with Tessa Anaya, a content analyst for GetApp, a trusted platform for businesses. GetApp has recently conducted a recent survey on digital trust and identity for SMEs, which explores the evolving landscape of online purchase practices and the growing concern of cyber threats. Tessa's time is dedicated to method-based investigations to help SMEs of all industries access the insights that can elevate their organizations. Her of-the-moment consumer surveys and market research have earned her features in the IT World Canada, Les Affairs, the Financial Post, and the Journal de Montreal. Join us as we delve into the survey findings and discuss the significance of building digital trust for small businesses. Hi, Tessa. On behalf of Canadian SME, I'd like to welcome you again to our Small Business Podcast today. How are you?
I'm doing great. Thank you so much for having me, Maheen. It's so nice to see you again.
I know. Welcome back. Now, Tessa, today's discussion revolves around a topic that holds immense significance in our rapidly evolving digital world. That is trust. Now, very recently, GetApp published surveys and consumers expressed significant concerns about privacy and data security. Tessa, how can small and medium-sized businesses address these concerns effectively to build trust with their customers?
Absolutely. Yeah, it's a great question because the world is getting more and more digital. We are sharing more and more information with companies online, all kinds of information. As consumers, every time we interact or buy things, we're providing information related to our identity, our personal preferences, even financial details. So it's normal that consumers have some worries about where that data is going, how it's being protected. What we found in our study was that consumers really want companies to be transparent about the way that they mitigate data privacy risks. Nearly half of consumers want to know exactly what steps companies are taking to make their data secure. And the other 45% said that they want at least a little more information about how their data is being protected. Since it can be overwhelming to read through long privacy policies full of legal jargon, that's maybe not always the best strategy, right? So make that information more accessible, and that's a great way to build trust. So tools like policy management software can help with that process, as they can help companies create and ultimately highlight and pick out the most important aspects of cybersecurity and data privacy compliance. Once you have those details outlined, it can be reassuring to distribute that in a really user-friendly way, included in your marketing materials, in your company values, make that easy to consume.
Now, before we delve more into the survey findings, could you please share with us the motivation behind conducting these surveys on the concerns of consumers and reputational risks for SMEs? Like, what drove GetApp to really explore this specific topic and gather insights from both the consumers and SMEs?
Sure. At GetApp, our mission is not only to help SMEs find the best business tools for their organization, but we also want to provide resources on how to best use those tools and why they're important. It's a no-brainer that internet users have concerns about the protection of their data. So with this survey, we wanted to dive deeper into how SMEs can best address those concerns and what factors might spike or reassure consumers about a company's reputation for data safety.
Now, Tessa, I remember mentioning this earlier as we began our podcast. Trust is so crucial in the digital realm, particularly for SMEs. Now, based on the survey findings, what are some key factors that contribute to building trust online, and how can SMEs focus on these factors to enhance their digital reputation?
Well, the interesting thing is that in our survey, we didn't find that there was any single factor that consumers seem to rely on wholly for gauging a company's digital reputation. They often turn to multiple information points. However, all the most frequently consulted indicators seem to have a human factor, such as reviews from other users or the ease of reaching out to customer support and recommendations from friends or family. With that in mind, it's a great idea for SMEs to showcase the human side of their business, whether that means their dedicated customer service department or shining recommendations from verified buyers. Customers are also interested in the general security of the website that they're purchasing from. When providing financial details, 75% of consumers surveyed look for a payment security system before they trust a website. Nearly half also want to see that data encryption is being used, followed by a third who look for compliance with pipe data and cookie protection. So if your company is using security methods for personal and financial information, which it really should be, make sure that that's visible to shoppers.
Now, related to that, Tessa, SMEs often face resource and expertise constraints when it comes to cybersecurity, which is a very big component of, the digital realm. Now, based on the survey responses, what practical steps can SMEs take to enhance their cybersecurity measures and protect their customers' data, considering their specific challenges?
Yeah, great question, because not all SMEs are going to be in a stage where they can comfortably hire a dedicated IT person or a team to help them with that kind of thing. But the good news is that there's easily understandable best practices and some low-cost digital solutions that can help them secure their data. From our article on GetApp, How to Secure Data in the Cloud, here's a few tips. Make sure there's no room for the system to leak by getting a wide view on the control and access to your databases. Ensure that only authorized accounts have access to data, and familiarize yourself with security controls, especially if you're using more than one cloud storage system. Client data can be stored in both customer databases as well as internal or operational systems. So this is a must do for every data system that your company uses. It's also important to look at the APIs that each system might be using, which is something that enables the software applications to interact with each other, and make sure that those data transfers are being protected. Don't worry if you feel totally out of your depth hearing me talk about securing these systems. There are tools for that. If that's your case, look into adopting firewall software that helps your employees securely access business systems, and endpoint protection software, which monitors your network and detects threats and blocks attacks from malicious actors.
No, thank you so much for those tips there, Tessa. Now, talking about tips, we have something else as well. The survey highlighted, customers' expectations for seamless and very secure online experiences. In your expert opinion, what are some best practices that SMEs should adopt to ensure a user-friendly and trustworthy digital presence, taking into account the findings from the surveys?
So overall, transparency was the top objective in building a trustworthy digital reputation. The survey said it. So if you take one thing away from this podcast, please be as transparent as possible. Customers don't always trust things like security accreditation badges, as some people can't tell if they're real or fake. So some transparent measures that you could take that are more user-friendly would be a clear statement on the company homepage, an email that explains how a customer's data will be protected, and updates from your company regarding their security features or incidents. Being upfront about these things might seem boring, but it's really effective in building consumer trust.
Right. Now, Tessa, building digital trust, I would say, and identity is a very ongoing process. Now, in the light of the survey data, and on a final note, how can SMEs really foster a culture of continuous improvement and adaptability to stay ahead of the evolving cybersecurity threats and meet the changing expectations for their customers?
So when companies are looking to really come out with a strong stance on being a secure company to trust with your data, it's important to establish that in your values. And that's going to help you, because you always go back to your values when you're looking at new projects to implement, right? So if you establish your business as one that cares about protecting your customers' data and actively take steps to do so, that's going to shine through in all the steps of the customer journey. 51% of survey respondents expect companies to be transparent about security in email newsletters, which is a great opportunity to turn data protection into a marketing message. So not only are these cybersecurity messages, but these can be great marketing messages to even convert more customers into patronizing your business. But don't just talk the talk either. Once data protection becomes a core value of the company, stay updated on the latest threats and communicate clearly to customers on how you're going to handle those. The Canadian Centre for Cybersecurity has tailored resources and studies related to SMEs as well, so take advantage of that. The information is out there, but so are the threats. So, you've got to stay vigilant.
Now, Tessa, your expertise and knowledge in the field of trust building in the digital realm have truly enriched our discussion today. And I must say, your insights on the challenges faced by SMEs and the strategies they can employ to establish trust online have provided invaluable guidance to our audience. Thank you once again for your valuable time and contribution to our podcast.
Thank you so much. Stay safe out there.
And that concludes our insightful discussion with Tessa Anaya, content analyst for GetApp. We explored the survey findings on digital trust and identity for SMEs and learned about the growing importance of building digital trust in today's online landscape. Once again, we would like to thank our exclusive banking partner RBC, our exclusive shipping partner UPS, and our exclusive accounting software partner Xero for supporting this initiative. Please do share the podcast and feel free to check out the other episodes. Also, do not forget to subscribe to the Canadian SME Small Business Magazine to stay up to date on all our upcoming events and get the top business insights from industry leaders. This is Maheen, your host for the Small Business Podcast.